Hi guys, Ken Chigbo, aka KenFX Freak, back with another week roundup and look ahead to the key events. Now, last week we had initially dollar weakness. You could see the dollar was under pressure here from the open sort of on Sunday, Monday. But then we caught some big support and bounce. Now, why initially the dollar was under pressure? Because Joe Biden had enough electoral votes to win that election. Remember my last video, it wasn't clear, but he had enough electoral votes to win the election so he can take over the White House, which is good for risk appetite. So that's why we saw the dollar under pressure first. But then as the week went on, the dollar started to recover. Why? Because everyone was concerned about COVID cases. They're still rising in Europe. They're rising in the UK. They're rising in the United States. Okay. And then we're seeing economic lockdowns across Europe, the UK, and now US are starting to implement some restrictions. So a bit of safe haven flow being ejected into the markets there. So dollar strength, riskier FX, AUD, NZD, Euro GP were heading lower initially. Okay, initially for the early part of this week. That's why you can see this dollar heading to the upside there. But then now markets are again focused on risk appetite because there's hopes of a vaccine in being produced before the end of this year. But at some point, people start paying attention to the data. So what am I looking out for? Well, as I say, it looks like risk on is set to continue. Keep an eye on Euro, okay? You can see we're breaking down resistance here. If we look left, there's a bit of resistance around this 118.30 zone. So if we could break out, retest, and then longs from around 118.30 and a run and challenge these highs of last week around 118.80, if not into 119. I'm looking at GBP as well. Now, some significant news happened on Friday where one of the masterminds behind Brexit, he's stepping down, and he was a bit of someone with a tough stance on Brexit. So the fact that he's stepping down is a good thing for GBP. Perhaps it will allow the UK government to try and compromise rather than being this hard stance that was that man, Dominic Cummings. So look at GU here. Broken above resistance around 118.80. Get a retest. As long as that holds, we'll extend to the upside and challenge these highs, similar to Euro dollar of last week up at sort of 132.80. I like the look of Aussie dollar as well. You can see we're a bit of resistance here. This left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breakout, retest. I think we're going to break above, retest, and that will hold, and then we'll extend to the upside, and I'll be looking at a run into 74.00 just on resumed risk appetite. The market seemed default that is set for risk appetite because a vaccine's coming for COVID, so that's driving the markets forward for now until, as I say, markets start paying attention to data after we see how the lockdowns have had an impact on the economies. And then lastly, US 30, I think we're going to carry on this week. Another push to the upside. One more push. Go and challenge these highs at 30,000 for the Dow Jones breakout retest with buying around 29,400 in a run into 30,000. So I think this week we're going to have another push for all of the riskier currencies, riskier FX, riskier assets, and the dollar will be down as we sort of remain risk on and hopeful at the moment in terms of market optimism until, as I say, until data starts to come out. But for now, risk on. Thank you very much. Have an amazing week.